So, beginning of a new series on a new channel. Kind of weird. Don't expect anyone to like this. But if you are somehow new, you know, if you're just browsing through trying to find someone watching this for the first time, I'm watching 100 new movies. First time ever. I've maybe seen 10 of them max, and you know, half of those I don't remember. So I've basically seen none of them. We're going to be doing it randomly. I'm also going to be making other people watch it, people I know, and then afterwards we'll all review it, you know, separately, not like this big Skype thing. You know, I'll just be like, hey, what do you think? Then message me, and I'll get them to review it out of 10, rate it out of 10. What they rate it out of 10, I'll add it all up and get a mean average, put it into a list. Eventually, we're going to be getting a huge list, I guess a list of 100 movies, and it will be rated, I guess unbiasedly, because there's a lot of different people doing this, a lot of different mixes of people, so it's not going to be like all Star Wars fans is going to rate Star Wars the best. It's going to be a real merge of people, so technically we will find out the best movie here just based on the mean average. We should do anyway. I'm excited. I don't know which movies today's going to be. I mean, I guess you do because you've seen the title, but we're about to find out. Here goes. Okay. Siri, pick a number from 1 to 100. 27. And let me get that for you. 27. I don't know what number 27 is. I'm about to go and find out. Here we go, boys. Okay. 3 rows of 10, so 10, 20. Oh, sorry, I just was like 10, 20, 30, 29, 28, 27. The Great Dictator. I have never seen this movie before. I've never even heard of it before. But it's by Charlie Chaplin. Let's go. So I remember when I first did a thing like this ages ago. I got The Great Escape first, and I was a bit devastated about it. But it ended up being a really good movie. And now I've got The Great Dictator, which I've just searched up like 2 seconds ago. It's like from like 1940, and I'm like, oh, but it's a comedy, and it's rated really highly. So I'm hoping it's a case of it's rated highly because it's still good, and not just, oh, it's a classic, even though it hasn't, what's the word, it hasn't aged well. Aged well, that's what I'm on about. So, you know, some classics, which I have seen, like Clockwork Orange, Doctor Strangelove, they're classics. Big emphasis on this. But, you know, I guess when they came out, everyone was like, oh, this is good. I mean, it hasn't aged well, but everyone's like, well, it's the classic, you know, it's the classic. It's like, yeah, but why is it? Because they're crap. I'm hoping this is a different version of that, and it's like, no, it's good because it's actually good, and not good because it came out and it was good, and then now it's not actually good, but people still refer to it as good. We're about to find out. I'm hoping it's a good movie. I have no idea. And I will see you after, I guess. So, I'm currently like 5 minutes into it, and it's surprisingly Tom and Jerry like, I guess. It's just very childish in a very funny way. Well, it's not funny, but it's like, it's very weird. I've never seen a movie like this, honestly. It reminds me a lot of, yeah, like I said, Tom and Jerry, very dad joke-ish, kind of funny. Like, it's not funny, but you're like, really, and you kind of just chuckle at it, and I don't know, I'm kind of baffled how different this movie is. We'll see how it keeps going, but right now I'm just excited for 2 hours of this. I'm just smiling by how stupid it is, but stupid in a good way. That's not a negative thing. But let's keep watching, I guess. So right now, this is not actually too bad. It's basically about the war, but like, kind of, because it's not about Hitler, but they've got a different name for him. And this guy's got amnesia, and I don't know, he like doesn't realise like what's going on, so he doesn't realise like he's being hated on because he's a Jew or whatever it is. And at the moment, it's actually pretty decent. We'll see if it continues, but right now, I am liking it. I'm actually liking it. What I'm finding very interesting right now is that the most of the movie is silent with apart from speech, and then when like funny moments are happening, that's when the music comes in to like really pick up the humor of it. I don't know. I find it really interesting that because there's bits of the whole movie where it's like just quiet. There's no sound at all because no one's speaking. And then there's times like this where the music is like the main part of the scene in many ways. I find that very interesting, and I don't know. It's just a very unique movie right now. So I'm going straight into it without even thinking about what I liked and disliked and talking about it straight away. It's literally ended like 2 seconds ago. I kind of liked it, you know. I did kind of like it. It had a decent story. I'll be honest, it was kind of difficult sometimes to know what was going on, especially because the two main characters were both played by the same actor. Obviously, that makes sense with the story. But in general, I liked it. I liked the actual story itself. I think it could have been portrayed a little bit better. Obviously, I know it was made a long time ago, so I'm getting the benefit of the doubt. You know, I'm not being like, it's terrible. How did they make it this bad? I'm actually kind of impressed how good it was considering it's like 80 years old ish, which is that's old. The thing that surprises me the most is that it was released during World War II. So they're making jokes about like Hitler and stuff, and I kind of expected it to be, you know, maybe like 1960, you know, decade after Hitler's gone, and they're like, remember Hitler? Look at him, it's point and laugh at him now, but this is like before he's peaked, you know. This is like in the before the first. This is during the first half of World War Two. The humor, I kind of got it spot on, but it was like a dad joke humor. It got more bearable, I think. Although the funniest joke was still there was two really funny jokes. When they're in the plane, it was so obvious what was gonna happen, but it was just so funny when it goes upside down and he takes his belt off and it was just some of the stuff looked so bad, and rightly so. But it was like, what is going on? And when he climbs the curtain, but the actual funny joke, when it was like the first joke I ever made, and I was like, this has potential. Is when he shoots the rocket, it's like, when he does it again, it's like, I'll do this one. Boop, it just falls out, and they're like, what have you done? That kind of that got me very surprised. I'm not gonna lie, it got me very surprised. I can see why it's on the list. I can definitely see why it's on the list. Is it one of the best movies I've ever seen? No. Would I understand if my granddad thought it was? Yes. I would be able to see why he would think it was a great movie. If I had to rate it out of 10, this is where it gets spicy. Because, you know, say I'm not going to, but as an example, say if I can't pick too many faults. I also don't want to let it off just because it's old. In my mind, I'm able to be like, okay, look, that is why I should let it off, but it would be unfair for me to go, well, it's an old movie, I'll give it an 8 out of 10, because then, you know, any movie that doesn't get 8 out of 10, even though it's a good movie, it's kind of hindered a bit. So I have to keep it in mind that I do have to kind of treat it fairly. And if I'm being honest, as a movie, I would probably give it 6.2 out of 10. I will probably, hopefully, get Elliot on Skype. And then, well, maybe not Skype, but I will probably, hopefully, message Elliot about this, and we will get his views in a minute once he's seen it. It might be tomorrow, probably. But we will get Elliot's views. But we will be right back with Elliot. Boom! Okay.
Sweet.
So we both watched the movie now. We've both watched The Great Dictator. What did you think?
Oh, you can go first, or have you already done
Okay. I didn't mind it. I thought it was one of those movies where no matter how old it is and no matter how not good it is, it's very enjoyable to watch. And I was able to watch it all through without, like, for me it didn't really drag, I don't think.
Yeah.
And obviously I have to give it a little bit of a benefit of the doubt that it's like 80 years old nearly. But I thought the actual story itself, it was a good idea. I would say, anyway, like, it was decent. There was some bits that I was like, I'll be honest, I preferred the barber scenes.
Mm.
The actual dictator scenes kind of were a bit boring at points.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I don't know if I like missed something, like a bit of text or something, But at first I didn't realise they were different characters for like the first two scenes.
No, neither did I. That's what confused me, right? Because obviously it was a take on World War Two.
Yeah, it was.
And so the first part was World War One.
Yeah.
And then Hitler in World War One, he was in the hospital.
Yeah.
And then that's when the war lost. And so the guy was, but it turns out that he was the barber.
Yeah, exactly.
And that
that threw me. Yeah.
But overall, I don't know. It was okay. It was slow at the beginning. I
It
get
was
that it's an
slow.
old movie, and you gotta kind of take that into account. But like, when there's scenes when there's like no sound at all.
Yeah, that's why. I
so I just sat there like.
I was, because like some scenes, if they're not talking, it's just silent.
Yeah.
And it was just a bit weird. And then I found it interesting, like whenever there was like comedy, that's when the music would begin. The music, which was kind of cool. It was kind of cool.
The comedy was right.
The comedy.
It was very old.
It was very old.
It picked up in the end, like you know when the Italian came.
Yeah.
And like the went on the chairs, like the barber chairs.
Yeah.
I found that pretty funny.
That was funny actually.
And when they were debating the peace treaty.
Yeah.
You know, like you move your shoulders.
Oh
first,
yeah.
and then I'll sign it. He's like, no, you sign it, and then that was pretty funny. But it was okay.
The humor, it was like dad joke-ish.
Yeah.
You know when like you're like, oh Jesus, like the first joke when he does the missile and it's like, dude, and it feels like, and I was like, oh my god. And then the other one that really got me, it was like I laughed so much just because how bad it was. So when they're in the plane upside down.
Oh yeah.
And then he like undoes his seatbelt and he just like flops out. It's like, what is happening right now?
I don't think it's a movie I'd watch for a long time. I might
No,
watch it again,
no.
but I'm not jumping to watch it again.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I did find interesting is like I assumed it was made like after the war, like Hitler lol.
Was it made during it?
It was made like in 1940.
Oh.
So like the first year of the war, which I don't know, I found kind of interesting, right? Because that's like.
I guess that explains why it ended when they invaded Austria.
Yeah.
Or wherever they.
Yeah, and also I guess the speech that he made, he's actually trying to speak to the people in the World War, like, hey, you know, this isn't good. Stop it.
That's the part that also confused me, right?
Yeah.
Because Charlie Chaplin is playing both characters.
Yeah.
And yet, the barber character that he's playing ends up in the position of the other character that he's playing.
Yeah.
Like the parody of Hitler or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's like, in some scenes, I guess you could confuse that. It's like.
No, definitely.
I get that they're identical and that's how he gets mistaken, but at the same time, it's like, which character is he at the moment?
But no, I thought it was a decent movie. I thought it was okay.
I think it was a good one to get out the way.
Yeah. I think at the moment I'm like, it's a good movie, but I expect it to be at the bottom of the list at the end. That's pretty much how. What would you?
I don't know about that actually.
Do you know?
Some of the ones on there.
I'm thinking Doctor Strangelove is gonna be bottom. That's my guess, and A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Oh, no, I think Clockwork Orange might be pretty high.
Do you like? You've seen it, haven't you?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No, but I'm told it's
dude,
good.
that's gonna be spicy. I'm okay. Little guess there, predictions. I'm thinking Memento is gonna be very high. I love that movie.
Yeah.
And I think you already like Memento. I've not seen Seven Samurai, but I think that's good. American History X is surprisingly decent.
I can't think of any that I haven't seen on that list. Oh, Blade Runner might be pretty high. I haven't seen the original. I haven't seen the new one.
No, I haven't. Oh, yeah, Blade Runner is meant to be good actually. Aeroplane is meant to be very funny.
Yeah?
Every time I search up best comedy ever, it always comes up Aeroplane first. And I always look at it, I'm like, that's an old movie, that looks terrible. But it's always there, top of every list.
Let's see
I'm
what
like,
happens.
okay. Have you seen Godfather?
No.
Me neither.
People say it's good. People reference it all the time, so we'll see what happens there.
Schindler's List. Notebook is good. Have you seen Notebook?
No.
Okay, that's pretty decent.
I always get that confused. Like anytime someone's like The Notebook, I think of Silver Linings Playbook with Jennifer Lawrence in it, and I'm just like, what?
And The Green Mile I've never seen, but my mum loves that movie.
Me and I were talking about it the other day, because obviously we went to see Halloween.
Yeah.
And I was like, is Shawshank Redemption, this is Stephen King? And he was like, no, I'm pretty sure this is the other writer who wrote Green Mile.
Oh, really?
Apparently that's his mum's favourite movie as well.
I've seen scenes of it because my mum watches it a lot.
Do you know what it's about?
It's about this prisoner who can bring people back to, like, he can heal people. And Tom Hanks is the officer, I guess, the person who's, like, not a prisoner. And it's like a sad movie because, like, the prisoner gets, like, made fun of a lot. And as far as I know, I can't remember it for sure.
Honestly, looking at that now, I think Three Idiots might be the bomb.
I have no idea.
I feel like it's gonna be Three Stooges, but worse.
Maybe, yeah. I have no idea. Seven. Have you seen Seven?
Yeah.
The ending of Seven is crazy.
So you know it?
I know the ending.
Oh.
Annoyingly, when he's like, "What's in the box?"
Spoilers.
That's pretty much, honestly, that's pretty much what I've seen actually. For the most part.
I can't wait to see the rest.
I can't wait for your reaction to Memento.
Honestly, I don't think any of the ones that I haven't seen on there are ones that I would watch. Unless they were on this list and we already
Yeah. I'd agree with that, maybe.
But we'll see.
But you're gonna love Memento. I can't wait for that one to come up.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Well, that was...
What would you rate Great Dictator out of 10?
Like a 6.
Okay. I gave it a 6.2.
It's because of the other movies we got to come.
So yeah, exactly. So that evens out as like 6.1 out of 10.
I don't know if I'm going to be biased because I've like seen a few of
Yeah,
them.
no, yeah.
Like the ones
Hopefully
I've seen,
not.
I might be like 10.
Dictator. Oh, this is quite spicy. This is ASMR-esque right here. See, this is the kind of stuff I like, because I seen like a picture of the whole poster scrunched off, and obviously, you know, you see them all from afar, and you're like, you don't know what the reference is. This is something where once you've seen the movie, you know exactly what this is, but before you say it, you're like, what the hell is this? And now I'm like, oh, dude, that's actually a really good idea. So I'm hoping they're all gonna be really clever like that. Obviously, some will be like, for example, oh, Castaway's not on here. Castaway should totally be on here. But if Castaway is on it, it should have like a picture of Wilson, you know. I'm actually surprised Castaway's not on there. And also Breakfast Club as well. I feel like that should be on there. But here we go. Boom. The first one is scratched off. I'll give you. Oh no, I just like accidentally scratched a line. Oops. With my nail afterwards, it's not too big. There we go. The first one is marked off. I love the fact it's like a Nazi one, just there on its own. But there we go. The first one is done. Thank you for watching, guys. I've been Giants. I'll see you next time.